Hi Marty folks, this is Elina. Initially I thought I'm gonna create this video for artists, but I realized that it might be applicable and helpful to a lot of people out there. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think being artist is being honest. Because if you're not true to yourself, if you don't believe in what you are practicing, making, creating, this is not art. This is a lie. Integrity, remaining who you are, and always asking yourself the most difficult questions in life is the only way to create something that is meaningful, that might be life-changing. But where do we start? Well, there are two ways for artists. The first one is practicing what we know, what we are used to be doing, what we are familiar with. It is a safer road, it's probably less stressful, and it will most likely be more in the comfort zone. It's probably doing something that you really like without an extra challenge. For example, you have always been practicing a certain photography genre, a certain painting style, playing works by particular composers in a familiar setting, or writing in a certain style, writing literature, and you would like to keep unfolding this. It seems like you already know so much and have gone a long way in order to reach the point where you are right now. This is actually great and is probably the most secure option. Another way is constantly challenging yourself. It can be trying artistic styles and genres you've never worked in before. It can be trying new mediums, new colors, new composers, new materials, or works that you have never expected you would be doing, or doing some works in a certain rendition or multidisciplinarity that actually requires you to be a co-author even if you have something that was already written, such as a piece composed by someone else or a play composed by someone else. But you are making decisions on how you are going to blend it for the final project. That's more applicable for performers. Of course, it doesn't have to be something that you consciously didn't do because you didn't like a certain medium or a style or approach or a composer or something like that. If it's a conscious choice, it's your conscious choice and let it be. However, there are many things that a lot of artists want to try in their work and somehow they never get around to start. And the reason is actually not a lack of time or energy or the means, money, what? The real reason is fear. Yes, it is fear. I said it. We all have something that sits in the backs of our heads, and in fact it might even have someone's voice telling you things like, this is too hard, this is too much, this is too expensive, this won't get anywhere, you will not pass the pre-selection or you won't get the grant, your work is not good enough, you don't have enough experience, you're not technical enough, you're not expressive enough. Oh, my favorite is you don't feel this, you don't feel this music. What else? You're not strong enough, you're not a fast learner, you're a bad collaborator. You don't understand this style or genre or approach or whatsoever. Does any of this sound familiar to you? I believe that we all of us, everybody, has heard some version of this at some point of our lives. And some of us have in fact heard this for way too long. And somehow it has impacted our minds way too deeply than maybe it should have had. So I'll tell you one thing today. It's a practice, in fact. A very useful one. Take a piece of paper. Stop this video. Pause this right now. Take a piece of paper. Then come back. Sit somewhere quietly and think about all of those things that prevent you from starting doing what it is that you want to do. Really, I'm serious right now. Make two columns. On the left and on the right. So on the left, you're gonna write a list of all those things that are bothering you. Yes, you will look at yourself. You'll look inside your mind you'll dig for those things. The nasty stuff, you'll dig it out. They might be things you have heard from your teachers, parents, friends, siblings, collaborators, colleagues, I don't know. Write down everything you can remember. Everything bad that is sitting there and bothering you. All those horrible things that were told you so many times that you actually started believing because you thought that those people were right. You trusted those people or that person. I don't know how many there are, hopefully not too many. You thought that they had a good reason to say this because they were smarter than you, more experienced than you, maybe they were your role models. I hope not anymore. I know you don't want to see these things on paper. They hurt. But the only way to get rid of them is to get them out there. You don't have to show this to anyone, but you gotta work it through. So after you have sat down, stop this video, I hope, and you have written the list of things in your left column, the list of things why you think you suck. You don't, but yeah, let's pretend. Concentrate now on the right column. Here you will write the list of the things you always dreamt of doing. You saw yourself there. You always wanted to be that person. You envisioned your future self, that unreachable, perfect future self, I don't know. But somehow you always listened way too much to the things from the left column. Come on, once again, you don't have to show this to anybody. This is just for you. What do you want to do? Really want to do, and you were always scared to start. The only way to get rid of fear is to look at it in the eye. Your most dear, precious idea, your aspiration, your dream. It's not coming true because someone said you were not good enough. Someone said something, and now you are ruining your life because of that? Really? Listen, think about it. It's getting ridiculous, right? Because someone said something. Even if they said it many times, you started believing you are not good enough. Do you know that our beliefs or disbeliefs can create a program for our entire future life? You know, there's an interesting philosophy that the feelings like love, joy, appreciation, gratitude are based on something tangible. You kind of want to embrace what it is that brings you these feelings. You want to almost touch it. In some cases you can't even touch it. It has a reason, in other words. It's based on something real. However, fear is different. One of its aspects is the connection to the clear conscience. For example, if you didn't practice enough and you're about to go on stage, you will most likely be nervous and experience fear. Even if you can perform perfectly without needing to practice that X amount of hours, your mind might be telling you somewhere from the back of your head, you could have dedicated more time towards this and that, and it might be actually bothering you during your performance. I don't know if that's actually fear or something else, but it kind of does make you scared that something might just go wrong on stage. But other than that, if you remain really true to your own self, if you're not trying to trick yourself, and if you look into what fear is really based on, you will find out that it has no tangible core. Whatever it stands on is artificial. It might be things like words of others, or your personal disbeliefs, or even lives of others. When, I don't know, when you think that somebody has a better life than you do because they are somehow better in a certain way, that's envy. If that creates a discomfort, that means it's envy, and instead of focusing on optimizing your life and creating strategies on how to have a better life yourself, you are focusing on that person who you think has a better life and you feel horrible because of that. So, in fact, that's a BS. Because words and lives of other people have nothing to do with our own identity. we do tend to mix them together, but in fact, they are completely separate things. And your disbeliefs are something that you invented yourself, even though it might be after hearing someone saying that you are not good enough in whatever way. So, as a conclusion of all this, fear is based on nothing. Fear is emptiness. Now tell me, how can emptiness influence your life and your decisions? Do you really allow some nothingness to prevent you from starting to do whatever it is you wanted to do because you invented a non-existing reason that now you are using as an excuse? You see how nonsense it gets when you analyze it. Now, your last assignment with that piece of paper, tear it in half so the right and the left columns are separate. Go and burn the left column. You don't need that crap in your life anymore. Whatever nasty things those people said about you, they don't matter. Watch it burn. It's not in your head anymore. It's out there on that paper. And when it burns, it won't exist. That's it. You're done with that BS. Now look at the right column and start making a plan of how you are going to convert those dreams into clear goals. By the way, the relevant video I made about that is right here. Thumbs up if it was helpful, and please comment what it is that you're gonna go and start doing. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.